The pilot episode. Here we go again with your three friends, Drew, Neil, and Perk. We got your favorite movies and shows. It's three guys nobody knows. The pilot episode.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We've got a banger of an episode here on the pilot episode of Marshals. Drew, this show is getting better.
Yeah, I've actually got it in our comments whether or not we think this show can actually become like a must-watch TV show. And the way we're going, I really do think it can. Like, it started off as I'll be honest with you, it started off as a shitty Yellowstone spinoff.
I won't even go that far. I'll say it gave me like Longmire vibes.
Yeah.
Like to where every episode was, gonna be the bit of storyline, but not get very deep. But we're gonna catch a bad guy.
Yeah.
Once Casey became a marshal, I didn't know how deep we were going to get into the story or anything. We have now developed into a much better show than I thought we had.
Yeah, I completely agree. And by the way, side note, before we get too far into this, bare wall behind me. Bear with me. I've got a whole new studio set up being done.
We're having another kid, guys. We got to redo some shit.
But yeah, like it's getting better and better every episode. I'm not going to tell you it's the must watch TV show right now, but it's getting there. Like by the time this thing's all said and done and all the seasons or everything from this season's done, we could be talking about a very, very high ranking TV show.
I'll say this too, Drew. The way we've kind of developed the last 2 weeks, I think we know we're getting multiple seasons now.
Yeah.
Or at least another. We still don't have a big time death. So every character, as far as the Marshals, Tate, Rainwater, like everything is growing. I think we're wide open at this point, and I'm fully bought in. I'm not going to tell you it's going to be the greatest show ever made, but I want to see another season at this point.
Yeah, I agree. Just the storylines developing is really turning into something good.
Well, before you say anything else,
go ahead.
I got to say this. We get on here. We've had multiple runs at a podcast. We finally got something right on a little bit of throwing shit against the wall on Predicted.
Yeah, I did.
I hate to jump ahead. Again, though, if you follow this podcast and you don't watch the episode before you do, we try not to give away the whole show, but also at the same time, we got to cover the show. Drew nailed it.
Where's the little? I want to hit the little. Hold up. Give me a second.
Yeah. Go ahead and get a little sound there. Old Captain Pete's daughter. That is his daughter. It's nothing sexual. It's not a former girlfriend. The you choosing your job comments or the team, however you want to word it, the ignoring him, the side remarks, him nagging at her throughout the entire season thus far in, it is his daughter. And you can go back and hear it here on the pilot episode. Drew Guy told us that. And I honestly thought it was going to be more of a past girlfriend or like a high school relationship or a girl I fucked in college and never called again. It's his daughter. So we have found that out. We have found nothing out about his crying and pill usage. That's still up in the air, but we were right about that.
Yeah, I take a little parade moment. I was right. It's few and far between, so I'll take them when I can get them. But it made too much sense. It was one of those where it was either going to have to be, like you said, like an ex-wife or somebody who he hooked up with. But let's talk about it. He doesn't look that much older than her, so clearly he was young when he had her.
He was also him being gone. Obviously on active duty, we know
Yeah.
He was a SEAL with Casey. That life can kind of look different. At 18 years old, if you're being shipped off and, y'all were already debating marriage, something that may have happened at 22, 23, it may happen at 18 or 19. So, we don't know how that played out. We don't know if we'll get into it. As far as this episode goes as a whole, though, we had some shots fired at our boy here on Casey.
Yeah.
As we say, you're right. I have to take the moment to say I was wrong about something.
Yeah,
Cruz was put over the investigation. And as soon as she was, to be honest with you, I thought this was going to be my parade moment where she became Monica 2.0 and became the villain and the worst part of Casey's life. For those of y'all that didn't watch Yellowstone and me saying Monica 2.0, you're thinking, Neil, you're a dumbass. Monica was his wife. Monica was his biggest fucking hater, I promise you. I can't help it. Sorry. I know she died. It should have happened sooner because it would have saved some of Yellowstone. But here's the deal. Cruz is not the same level of bitch. She went to bat for him. She didn't do anything shady. She was literally asked to sell him out, basically, to lie, actually, to flat out lie. And she didn't do it. And I was 1,000% wrong on that.
Yeah, she her and the whole team all together really kind of just showed that, like, it's not a military, like, team aspect, but, like, it almost is. Like, they felt bad, like they were, looking into their brother almost.
Yeah, also, though, man, like, we'll use, I know we're sports guys, but if one dude's going out getting 30 every night, but he says, fuck you on the way out of the locker room, at some point you kind of got to accept it because he's carrying your ass.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened with Casey. He's Jordan, and they literally had a conversation. They were like, well, he's pulled us out of the fire multiple times now, and if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here. So may want to have that dude's back.
Yeah, and it definitely showed that they did, like, they did their due diligence. They looked into him a little bit, but they all in the end found out they ended up proving his innocence, first of all, which was a really good
on
thing.
A game cam.
Yeah. And then moving off of that one, we got to get into the main thing that happened in the episode, which was the plane comes down, or the helicopter, sorry. And it's a new style rancher, guy who moved here from out east, and he's trying to get set up on a farm, get everything going for his family. But Casey does not know that. Casey just sees a lot of his dad in this, kind of the way he's running his farm or land, whatever you want to call it, ranch. It'd be the correct term.
There you go.
But we see in the end, all throughout this entire episode, there's a transition of how Casey feels about this guy. He learns that he's not just out here just trying to make money. He's out here trying to do this for his family, give his family something other than a stock portfolio. And you just see Casey's shift there, and he actually learns to respect the guy and returns his hat to him in the hospital at the end of the episode. And lo and behold, Casey may be in for a different.
So we've been debating on who Casey was going to bed at any point during this season, or if those of y'all that follow Bridgerton on this show reached the pinnacle with. They made some eye contact when she came in bitching about where's her father.
Yeah.
So this was building. I picked up on it then. There's more on eye contact when they pull him out of the woods, and he's out of there. And then he goes to the hospital to return the hat, like you said. She then goes to the bar, which, big news alert, everybody. Casey makes his first appearance to the bar. But he has this blonde of whose father he just rescued. I think we're going to get some action here. I think Casey is finally going to reach the pinnacle for the first time since Monica. And I'll be honest, I doubt he ever reached the pinnacle of Monica because I'm sure she bitched the entire time. So and that was never listed in the show. That's just my personal opinion. I think he's going to do a lot better for himself here. I hope Tate is still at grandfather's because it's been a while for old Casey and he needs it.
I don't think he realized what was going on. Like, I think at first, I think it was kind of he was being polite, and then like he gets to this moment where he's like,
maybe
it's just kind of like happening in front of him. Like he didn't mean for it to happen, but he didn't necessarily shy away from it. Like he just.
I'm not going to say you're wrong because at the bar when she was like, I need a local, to show me that I need to understand. But I mean, however she words it, who gives a shit? He was like, maybe. And I think you're right. That was the first time it set in to like, am I going to let this bitch in my house?
Yeah.
And boy, I'm encouraging him, as a fan. I'm really hoping he does because really and truly, I hate to harp on it. He's never been with a woman because Monica was Satan. So I hope that this works out to relieve some stress off of Casey and maybe let him have a weekend where, maybe have a 12-pack of Coors Banquet and just watch the cows in the pasture for a minute. May go fish, just do something to where you're not stressed the fuck out.
Yeah. And then the last thing that's really I guess the lingering thing on this episode, on their way up, Pete and Casey encounter a guy who looks like he's living off the land up in the mountains here. And he pulls a gun on him at first, was a little hesitant because he saw the badges and he was like, what's feds doing up here? And he just, Pete explains the situation to him. They end up letting him go, walking down the mountain.
Well, they told him to turn himself in like half-heartedly.
Yeah. Well, he doubles back and ends up taking some shots at him. Well, they get back and do the after action report, and Pete does a little digging, finds out we've got an FBI's most wanted living in the mountains in Montana. I feel like that's what the next episode's about, obviously. Or hear me out. Like you said, if this show is like Longmire, this turns into a season-long storyline while there are other small storylines going on.
Which is, I'm very okay with. When I said Longmire as a comparison, I did not mean it negatively. I want that to be stated.
Great TV.
Great TV show, but like we're already a little deeper with characters than Longmire on this. Some similarities, obviously. Yeah. But we are a little deeper with some of the characters they kept from Yellowstone. If this guy becomes a thing, like you said, with them still being active marshals, but still looking into this, but we do have the whole Cruz situation. Like we know she wants out, but she's morally doing the right things.
Yeah.
Could she have tried to screw Casey over? 1,000%. Yeah. She had multiple opportunities. She shut it down. She told Gifford pretty much to suck a bag of dicks. Don't ever ask me to do that again, and stormed out of the room.
Yeah.
Also, Gifford, I could do without Gifford. His characters, it's too much. I'm not a fan.
It's like they're trying to oversell it, man. Like,
yeah, I'm not a fan. He's the worst part of the show. It's almost not even needed. Like Casey has enough baggage.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't watch Yellowstone, just like in their investigation and what all they talked about, like we got enough going on. So let's kind of get to the point, like a little Band-Aid, rip it off situation. I don't know though. Like maybe it turns into a thing where like Casey gets some of his buddies, like him and Rip, join up and they kill this dude in the middle of the night. Like we throw it back to Dutton Ranch days.
I see it going a different way. I see him, saving Gifford's ass somehow. Like he does something that saves Gifford's job, or like he saves him Gifford somehow on a mission or something. I just see Casey saving this guy somehow, some way, and then him like being like, "Oh, well, you're not really like your dad."
Yeah. All right. So at what point do we have the real conversation about? I mean, here's the deal: good guys always finish last. When do we really get serious about it and start talking about Casey always taking the shit end of the stick to the point of he's always going to get the shit end of the stick?
Yeah, it kind of seems that way.
Okay. So That's why the whole Gifford thing, and I'm not saying you're wrong. You're based off how everything's went in Casey's life. You're probably more right.
Yeah.
But at some point, like we're gonna have to put a boot in somebody's ass.
Yeah.
So I don't know. My biggest takeaway though, dude, I'm super happy I was wrong about Cruz. Because like we said, I know she wants out. I know she wants to get back home. But she's obviously got a little playmate here, a little bit of a boyfriend type. We see her lassoing shit in the bar. They're having real conversations. She defends Casey. I feel like the team's a lot more bought in. I don't hate her. I would like to kind of see it stick, especially knowing we're getting more seasons.
I mean, I remember at the beginning of the show, or when we started covering this show, I actually thought she was going to be the one Casey ended up with, just because of the fieriness,
Yeah, I think she's a little too mouthy for him, though. He can only take so much, and then he gets a little crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, they did do some digging and find out, like in the middle of the night, he'd go kill some people for Daddy. So, I don't see that one sticking.
All right. Well, you got anything left on this episode? You want me to do the housekeeping? Are you good?
No, I'm good. It was a really good episode. The show's growing. The show's growing on me a lot individually. Like it's a lot deeper than I thought. Like we said, if you're not watching it, you should be.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I'm good.
All right. Tomorrow night, look for us. We'll be covering Memory of the Killer. Also going live for that as well. We're just going to do this whole live thing. It just works a lot easier for us. So definitely from now on, kind of be checking the live tab on our YouTube channel if you're looking for us. So we'll be back tomorrow night for Memory of the Killer. Now, I have talked to Perk with the Lord of the Rings movie review. That is actually probably going to be delayed a little bit to this weekend, later in the weekend, possibly even Sunday night. Due to Neil going out of town, so we're just gonna have to kind of bounce some stuff around.
Yeah, that's on me, guys. I apologize, but we'll get it right.
Yep. And what are you doing this weekend?
I'm leaving, going to Venice, and I'm not that far out. So
not beach, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we're gonna go do a little red fishing and eat some raw oysters and crawfish down in Louisiana.
Are bonita fish big?
Yeah. Yeah. It's Haley's birthday, so we had to make it happen. I look forward to it every year. I'm really excited. But we will cover I guess it's considered my third favorite movie of all time because I put the trilogy as my number one. It's a banger. Drew's gonna shit on it.
Hey, look. I have watched it. Little sneak peek for my review. I've given it my due diligence, and I understand. I'm taking this from like a movie critic's perspective because that's kind of essentially what we are when we do these reviews. I understand the greatness of it, so I'm not going to destroy the review too much because I understand the greatness of this show. Is it my cup of tea? No, but I can give props where props are due. All
right, let's get an early question that has nothing to do with our movie reviews. It has nothing to do with your review. From one movie to one movie, is it better than Harry Potter? You're already wrong.
Oh, here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's because I don't know it well enough. Like you can watch Harry Potter one off, and it's not that big of a deal. You don't miss that much. This, I feel like I missed a lot due to it not, being a one-off type thing. I have watched.
That's because it's
a better. Know them.
That's because it's a better written movie.
And my biggest point, and I'll say it again on our review podcast. You can't make a 3.5 hour movie that's shit. It's 3.5 hours because it's got to be pretty good. So that's where I'll leave it with that. I respect it, and we'll get into it more when we do that one.
Hey, I'll be a little bit of a viewer here, and I'll go ahead and leave a comment. Since we got a little extra time, why don't you just go ahead in the next few days, since you have the time, go ahead and watch The Fellowship of the Ring and then The Two Towers.
I may do that.
And I'll be honest with you. I'm not saying it'll change your review by 3 points in a whole, but I think we gain a half point, if not a whole point, if you do that.
Yeah, I've got to finish my other movie I started first. Boy, it was a big movie that came out this year. I was skeptical of watching it. I kind of took my time getting to it, and I have just now watched it. I mean, this thing was up for award after award. Michael B. Jordan and Sinners. It's shaping up to be a pretty damn good movie.
Yeah. Well, that's not part of the podcast, so we need you to focus on your job and watch The Fellowship of the Ring and the Two Towers.
I'll see what I can do. But yeah, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Hit the button down below. Let Grandma Deborah know that the pilot episode put out another podcast. Neil, what do you got for him?
We'll see you.
The pilot episode.